There's a place where dreams are born. It's across the sea and through the storm. Now listen, come with me to this magic isle.
All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna set up the 4x4 tents. All right, so I have my parts laid out down here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build these 3 tents out, and then we're gonna get back and I'm gonna show you how I fill them out with all the parts. All right, let me show you guys what I got going on here in our 4x4 tent upgrade. So here we go. 3 tents here. 4x4, 4x4, and 4x4. Canatrol, Canatrol. That's the hash station behind there. Then I've got my Husky workbench, my black partition, which is where we're gonna do all of our photography and most of our filming. Where we're at right now, we are in the process of setting up carbon filters. See, I've got my filters and my inline fans and my exhaust already taped up. We just need to bring it back up here and zip tie it in right around here. And I'm gonna show you, we've already done that in this first tent right here. This is pretty loud, but next step after this is we're gonna hang our 300 watt LEDs, our bar style LEDs in each of these tents. And then the last step is we're gonna set up some fans and finally get everything set up to plant a new round. We've got some zip ties here. And you see that? We're back, and I'm going to show you how we've updated our 4x4 tent setup and let you know where we're at as far as our progress. Right now, we have all 4 of our 4x4s set up here, and my most complete setup is in this tent over here. Right here at the top of the tent, on each of our tents, you can see we have our driver set up, and then I have a larger carbon filter set up back there. You can see our drivers. Underneath, inside of the tents, you can see these are all of our carbon filters and our inline fans that are exhausting to the top of the tents. You can see each one of them right there. I've got all 3 of these set up. We have our 300 watt bar style LEDs here. They're being held up by ratchet straps, and I'm using the same 300 watt bar style LEDs primarily because what I want to do is run these tents 24 hours a day. So I'm gonna run 24/0. Because of that, I can keep the lights dialed down to about 50 or 60% and maintain the same DLI across all of my tents. And that's what I'm looking for. And so because I'm running them at 50 or 60% in the 3x3s, I can crank that up just a little bit in the 4x4s to give the plants a bit more light. We want these 4x4s to give the plants more room to develop, and that way we're gonna get bigger plants. There was really only a maximum amount that I could grow in a 3x3 before they simply grew to capacity. At that point, there isn't enough airflow across the canopy for the plants to develop safely. So we always had a maximum weight that we could achieve in the 3x3s, which was around a pound per tent. And I'm hoping to up that here in the 4x4s. I'm gonna be able to achieve that though with these 300-watt lights because of that 24/0 light schedule. Now I still need to set up my 300-watt bar style LEDs in this middle tent and then this tent over in the corner here. I've already got this one set up. I'm gonna set up the other two right now. And other than that, I think that's gonna complete my tent setup. I wanna give you a little bit of an idea as how I'm going to manage airflow here. We have 3 4-inch carbon filter and inline fans all set up at the tops of each one of these tents, all exhausting air out through the top of the tent. That air is gonna get piped this way across the room, and these further tents have longer tubing to allow that air to directly flow. I have a 6-inch carbon filter and inline fan on the top of the tent, and that's where this far tent is going to be piping air. You can see right here all the way through, and it's gonna let the air out right at the entrance of that carbon filter. That carbon filter is gonna bring air all the way to the other side of the tent where I have a separate 6-inch carbon filter pulling air out of the room. And that's how we're gonna do it. I like to go active exhaust, passive intake on both my tents as well as my lung area. Now, if you'll recall, with my original setup, I used 3x3s inside of a 5x10. And I more or less used the 5x10 as a primary lung room, with this room being the secondary lung room. Now we're gonna do it a little bit differently this time, and I'm just running these 4x4s. They're not gonna have a lung tent. And so this room right here is gonna act as the lung room. Like we did last time, over here in the corner, I'm gonna run my dehumidifier, and that's gonna pump air this way. All of these tents, most of the time, will be closed up, and I'm going to use the opening in the bottoms of the tents as my passive intake. And then we'll have the active exhaust pulling all of the air from the top of the tent out, and that's gonna allow the heat to be removed from the tent too. We're gonna run this first round into the beginning of summer, so we'll be able to really experiment here with how this airflow moves air through the grow and out. And that's gonna help us in our future rounds, especially in our competition rounds, which happen later in the year towards October, November. So now I'm gonna just set up these other 2 lights and then I'll be back.